after completing these surveys, I made a total of... Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be testing one of the most common side hustles that we all heard about, which is filling out surveys. I know there's a ton of questionable feedback on this one out there. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people make decent money from it, and some people think it's a scam. So today, I'm going to try and make money by filling out surveys and see how it goes, and if you can actually still make money from this side hustle. So if you're curious, make sure to stay tuned. So there are a ton of different platforms out there, but in today's video, I'm going to be testing out this platform called Prime Opinion. They are relatively newer, so I'm definitely really curious to see how this goes. All right, if you're not familiar with Prime Opinion, so according to their website, you can make up to $5 per survey, which if you've ever done surveys, you know that's actually pretty good. And on average, a user can make about $11 in a day. You can also see that the way they work is that you earn bonuses for each survey, which you can redeem for things like straight up cash into your account via an ACH transfer. You can also get money transferred into your PayPal or Venmo accounts, or you can also redeem these points for gift cards at places like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Starbucks, and other big retailers. And if you live in the US like me, I feel like most of my money goes to those companies anyway, so yeah, might as well just get gift cards. And the redemption value seems to be about 1 to 100, so for each 100 points you earn, you get $1. Okay, so let's see how legitimate it is and how much money I will end up making. One of the first things that you will be asked to do is to accept a welcome bonus, which is great because you're already starting with a balance that's above 0. So speaking of the welcome bonus, one of the things that I kind of wish I paid attention to is that the higher welcome bonus you pick, the higher the redemption threshold will be. So if you're looking to make cash quickly, I would actually go for the lower welcome bonus because then you'll be able to cash out faster. But if you just want to make as much money as possible and you do have some extra time, then you should go for the higher welcome bonus. So once you have successfully signed up, you will instantly get access to all of the surveys. You can filter them by short surveys, most points, or simply go for the best match. I also really like how they have reviews from previous survey takers, which helps you to tell which surveys are the most straightforward and simple to finish and which ones are, you know, glitchy, overly complicated, or tend to drop you after a few questions. So I know one of the things that people really don't like about taking surveys is that some of the survey platforms will make you answer like up to 20 questions before they even determine if you are qualified to take the survey. So for a lot of people, that can get a little bit annoying because that's a lot of questions, and at the end they're like, oh no, just kidding, you're actually not a match for what we're looking for. So it really feels like you're giving a lot of your time and a lot of your opinion for free. But with Prime Opinion, I noticed that the eligibility survey is pretty quick. So it's usually like a few quick questions and then you can go straight to the survey. And even if for some reason you got to the survey and you're still not a fit after answering a couple of questions, they still compensate you with 1 point, which is not a ton, but it's still something, so you don't feel like you're totally working for free. So I'm not sure if I'm actually able to disclose like which companies that I was filling out the surveys for, but I've seen some really big names there in like tech, some of the major retailers, some of the big pharma companies. So it seems like Prime Opinion partners up with some pretty legitimate brands. So questions range from very basic things like your age, the state that you live in, your race, all the way to pretty detailed questions asking for your opinion on certain products and services, or even how a commercial made you feel. Some of the questions were pretty quick, very straightforward, like multiple choice style. Some of them were written answers, and some of them even ask you to video record your answers, which you can opt out of if you don't feel comfortable. One of the things I really appreciate about this platform is that I never had to share my email or phone number with anyone, which to me is very important because when I first tried doing surveys back when I was in college, when I was really young and inexperienced, I was just like giving out my email and my phone number to like everyone. And after that, I'm pretty sure I was getting spam calls for like the next 5 years and I couldn't get rid of them. So that's kind of something that made me very hesitant about like sharing my contact information on all these websites. But I noticed that in Prime Opinion, most of the surveys didn't ask you for the information. There were a couple of ones that let you know from the very beginning that they will be asking some of the personal information and you have an option to opt out right away. Oh wait, I almost forgot. If you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure to hit that like button because as you know, it really helps small YouTubers like myself. And in general, if you enjoy content about side hustles, entrepreneurship, and productivity, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, sorry, let's get back to the video. So after filling out these surveys for a while, I actually found the whole experience kind of, entertaining because one thing that Prime Opinion does really well is that it kind of gamifies your experience, which means that you get points and, the little confetti every time you complete a survey, You also get bonus points every time you reach a new level, which is pretty much free money. Who doesn't love that? And there's even a leaderboard if you like some friendly competition. So while at first I was mostly going for surveys with most points, after a while I realized that a lot of the short surveys actually have a pretty great value in terms of the amount of points versus the time you spend on them. So that is just something that's great to know, especially if you are short on time and you just want to complete something really quickly. Short surveys could be a great way to go. Another cool thing I noticed is that even after I kept refreshing the page multiple times, they always seem to have new surveys available. There's always a lot of variety and not like you competing against like a ton of people for the same surveys. Okay guys, so I just finally reached the 2,500 points threshold, which is the minimum threshold for me to cash out. And just as a reminder, this is a little bit of a higher threshold because I did pick the highest welcome bonus, but if you do pick a lower one, you can cash out way faster than this. But yeah, all in all, it took me a few hours to get to this point. I didn't really do it all in one go. I kind of, took breaks in between, ran some errands. So you don't have to sit through multiple hours to make money on this platform. So all in all, after completing these surveys, I made a total of $25.16, which I decided to cash out via PayPal. So is this the most money that I've ever made with a side hustle? No, it's not. But I feel like just considering how easy and simple this side hustle is, this is actually a pretty good way to make money when you have free time. And it's also one of those side hustles that doesn't require a lot of skill or experience or initial investment to start. Obviously, surveys are not really like get rich fast or let me replace my full-time job kind of side hustle. However, it is a great side hustle to pick up whenever you have some free time. Like I mentioned to you guys, they do have a mobile app, which means that you can get access to Prime Opinion pretty much anywhere, anytime. I can see myself taking these surveys, whenever I'm trying to kill some time, maybe when I'm like waiting for a doctor's appointment or, something that I can do instead of scrolling on my phone before bed. Some of these surveys are only like 2 or 3 minutes long, so it's a great way to just once in a while go in, share your opinion, and get paid for it. Sounds like a win-win to me. So if you want to try Prime Opinion, I will include the link down below. It is going to be pinned, so feel free to sign